Segal, especially I'll show you also an escape that I do. Okay? So if you're over here, sometimes the hand is exposed and it's gonna be easier to defend forehand. Okay? So grab from here, right now, let's do it on the top side. So top side is considered the strong side of a rear naked choke. The problem is that is only true at the very beginning, when the person doesn't know how to escape. Okay? So from here, I'm going down, okay? My head is close to his head, but this is my ears to his ear. My left hand grabs with no thumb, and it brings the hand on his stomach, okay? Two things about it, the stomach. Ideally, listen, sometimes I'll go here if it's Oleg and I grappling. I would like you to do the stomach, especially in this class, because it's a co-ed class. It just makes it easier to stay away from the equipment, okay? So I'm in this position. From here, get the hand in, and if you see, you'll see with your partner. Keep your chin down a second. So sometimes you'll see, if you want to get deeper, you try to extend it and then coming back in. Don't do that, okay? Whatever I have, I go through. Even if he's here on the chin, listen here, does it feel good? So take the chin out. And then I put the choke in. You understand what I mean? It's just at a certain point, it's up to him. But careful on doing these movements in which you're taking a slack, because yes, it takes away the slack, but it also extends my arms and it gives me the opportunity of grabbing. Shoulder, if I really can, also to my shoulder. Okay? Now realistically, from here, I can already squeeze and arch my hips and choke it. I want you to feel like you're always have your legs contributing as much as possible. Let's say we're going with something a little bit deeper, especially for my smaller people, okay? Now, once the hand is here, my other hand pops out and I go really over my hand. So I'm gonna have both hands on my shoulder. So my right hand is on my left shoulder. My left, sorry, okay? My left, if you pass out, please let me know. Okay, my left hand on my right shoulder. I keep my head in, okay? And as I'm arching, look, he doesn't feel, am I squeezing the arms or no? No. So look at my hips. Okay? So I'm not saying that it's all gonna be hips, but I want you to be efficient. Because at a certain point, the way I see it, especially with somebody like Oleg that is very strong, okay? And it just has a lot of shoulders, a lot of everything. I can spend a lot of time, like a lot of effort and energy trying to squeeze that choke, and it's still not gonna give me what I want. So a lot of times, I am more focused on making sure that my squeeze and more about taking away the slack. Once I know that this triangle is really snug around his neck, then I start using my legs, okay? Because otherwise my arms are gonna be, you see, because here his neck is resisting, my shoulders are resisting, but the moment I start kind of punching my hips out, it makes it very difficult for him to escape also because it put pressure on the lower back, and you really feel like it's the jaws of life. Now the power comes from the mechanical engine, not just from you being here. But this is not very efficient, especially when you're smaller. Now, obviously, listen, in reality, I'll also squeeze the shit out of him too. But I want you to feel like you're really focused on taking away that slack. Careful also when you're going back, when you're here, because a lot of us, a lot of you, okay, tend to, when you're going back, to open. You know what I mean? You're trying to kind of open that head, and you don't realize that you're actually opening this gap. So the challenge is making sure that you're staying tight, and as I'm moving, I'm still pushing. So although my hips are driving and are extending, my upper body is always super tight to the person, okay? Listen, the rear naked choke is super high percentage, doesn't matter. With the gi, without the gi, if you're wrestling on the beach with Speedos, it's always freaking, it can be Candace versus Peter or Peter versus me, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's just, you can take somebody's back. I also like, because if you see them standing, we're always focused on the concept of improving position, not necessarily creating distance. So if I have Caroline and she's sparring with me, let's say on the ground, like she's doing jiu-jitsu or whatever, I would like her to be focused on the back. You understand me? Because she can be from the guard, taking the back, she can be from the bottom, even sometimes taking the back. So once it gives you a direction. It's very difficult sometimes on the ground especially. We tend to know where we want to be, but it's kind of like we have like 5, 6 options. And we're kind of always trying to capitalize on what the person is giving us. I want you to feel like it's much easier sometimes to have a destination. Now sometimes I'll go here, sometimes I like to go over here, but the fact that I have a destination, it gives me a lot more intent, and it makes me a lot more deliberate, because now when I'm passing, I'm trying to go for the back. As soon as I feel like there's a little bit of back, as soon as the person crosses the elbow over, I can go from the back and so on, okay? So, can we see it? Easy with the hooks. in, grab the meaty part of my hand, close it in, again, press on the chest, head in. I go to my right side, I'm still making sure that he's not with his back on the floor. We'll do the defense later. Then I'm always kind of working with my hooks, okay? Now from here, left hand, no thumb on his stomach, right hand goes deep towards my shoulder, okay, and I keep it there. Now when I pull out the other hand, I go over my hand to the other shoulder, keep myself in. You already see he feels pressure, but right now, even without squeezing, look at my hips. Okay? Again, I know that in reality, John, if he's doing it to me, he's gonna squeeze too, but I really I want you to have these legs deliberate and not just kind of there for position, but they don't have any job. Okay? I want you to feel like you're really expanding. So don't kill each other, go only from the top side right now. Whatever your seatbelt is, the top arm, that's when you fall. Left hand on the hand on the shoulder, going over. So this stays there. Hand on the shoulder, chin in, and now arch your hips. Remember, always tap both, and also verbally tap. Let's go, ready? Now left hand grab the wrist. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Now this will put it on your shoulder, your shoulder. Your exactly either. It's fine. Now pull this out. Now go over your hand. Good. Arch your hips. That's easy. That's easy. Good, good, good. That's it. Tap. When you tap this, it'll go right on. Hey, don't worry, she'll reach that. Are you doing it? Keep going to your shoulder. Okay, so, guys, careful. Go get your camera. Careful on. Somebody could pass out.
Oh, she asked me for more.
Okay, more. Yeah, but that's a different. So, but this is also for both of you. Remember, both of us have to know each other's roles. Because for him to defend, he has to know what I can go after. So when I'm here and I'm coming through, usually what happens, people that don't know what they're doing, and this is actually this weekend, we talked about it at the school, they start kind of trying to get rid of the top hook, right? Okay? And that's from here, then you get yourself in trouble, okay? So never use the top hand. Now you can use the bottom hand, okay? Now use the bottom hand for the bottom hook, okay? Because you gotta think about it. So when you do this, so what is the one thing that I always tell you when you're defending the back? What is the number one thing? Remember?
Back on ground?
Back on the ground. I mean, it's important. There has to be like one thing. Okay. Then all the variations or whatever. But I feel like you have to have a clarity of thought when somebody's trying to freaking squeeze the shit out of you. Okay. Back on the ground. So you have to think about it. When I'm here, right? Let me go a second, sorry. When I'm here and I have Peter in front and I'm going for the choke, okay? Two things are important. If he takes off this hook, right? Put your back on the ground. That is not the hook that he needs to get his back on the ground. Relax it. Put your back on the ground. That's when he can get his back on the ground. So, two reasons why I don't want you to go after the top hook. One is it traps your arm. Two is not consistent with what we're gonna do. You understand what I mean? If I want my back on the ground, I need to get rid of the bottom hook, not the top hook. You understand what I mean? So when I see people doing this, usually they're trying to kind of turn this way, and that actually makes your neck more vulnerable. You understand what I mean? So that's the first thing. Second, when I'm coming through here, that's one thing that I will say as far as correction for you two, because you were doing it. As I'm coming in, okay, now I like trapping the arm for a couple of reasons. Even if I don't get it, right, if I'm here and I'm messing around, it still gives me the neck at all times. Okay, so if I'm here, which is kind of most people mess around over here, all my attention is on the neck, all his attention is on the neck. But the moment instead I start working, so that I start working my legs, it changes things. So things are important here that I didn't like. If you just grab, sorry, the toe cramp, if I just come to here, okay, he can still come out of it or raise his hand. I want you to feel like he either come through and you can cross the feet as long as it's high. So it's difficult for him to trap it, or put the foot, in the back. You see what I mean? So that's trapping. But if you're just here sometimes there'll be a lot of battle and stuff to try to get that arm out. So like I said, usually what I do is I push myself up a little bit. When I cross, I know that he can cross the feet over my leg, but when it's a problem, I can tell where my heels are on his crotch. It's not easy for him to put me in a full lock. Does that make sense? Or get this foot all the way behind his back. So now this foot is trapped. This hook is still valid. You understand what I mean? And now I have 2-on-1. Obviously, I have a huge advantage on him. Even if you're not able to trap that arm, it still becomes deception that allows you in some cases to expose the neck. You understand what I mean? So instead of fighting, instead of him defending the neck, now he starts to defend the arm, and sometimes defend the arm will allow me to get the neck. Make sense? So you kind of try to split his defenses. Okay? So if you do it, I would say either cross your feet, try to stay above the crotch, okay? Or get that foot and put it all the way behind it. Let's continue a second. Again, don't choke each other hard. Tap early, because I don't want you just, okay? Because that happens, okay? But try to make it tight. I don't know if you feel like with Candace, for example, because she has bony arms, she's very tight. I don't know if you feel it. Very tight from the very beginning, okay? I want you to feel like size with this one always matter, but it doesn't matter as much as you think. All the other choke, if Candace grabs you in a guillotine, it's not easy. You know what I mean? Because my size, my shoulders, everything becomes, I'm still in a place in which I can peel those hands off in a strong way. If it is armbar, kimura, my size is always gonna be an issue. Full locks, so, we're gonna get choked, very difficult, okay? So, let's make it a little bit tight. Let's go, ready? That was not worth the effort. So, hold on a second. No, sit here. What I said before. So, grab the hand. Here. Tight. Now go that way. Good. Grab the hand. No, put yours on. Yes. No, come here. Just get. Okay. Just take your shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, sweet stone. That's it. So let's see what we like that.
That's weird. I was supposed to say tap. And I couldn't get air out. I was like,
So cross your feet. Cross your feet. That solves the problem.
Yeah, I can pull it out.
So, in.
Yeah, that's a
Good.
fix.
Now put your head up a little more, Caroline. Exactly. Good. Now in.
Oh, actually, no, but now it's good.
So do me a favor a second. Oleg, go with them for a second. John, go with them. So we'll mix it up a little bit. So go with them so you kind of work it in.
You want to try it fully? It's a little harder. It's a little bigger.
It's a lot bigger. So now grab the Segal properly. No, not like that. So the bottom hand grabs the top hand. And grab the meaty part of the hand. That's right. Now go to your right side. But don't leave with your head. You can't come down like that. You're creating distance automatically. When you move, it's always your core and your body. So your head stays, your right ear is next to his left ear. Tight. Exactly. Yeah. Now go down, but don't create separation between your head and his. Stay up with your head. So now grab the hand. There, put it deep. Keep your head out. Good. And that's it. You got me ready. Okay. How you get in how you get to that position will make the choke automatically tighter. If you just kind of are something with your head in there, you lost the position. Okay?
You want to try the choking as well?
No. Bottom hand grabs the top hand. Bottom hand grabs the top hand. Exactly. Because when he starts messing around with the hand, I was going to peel your choking hand. You want him to peel the top hand, that's the non-choking hand. So keep your chin close, go to your right side. There. No, wrong hand.
then take my arm.
That's right.
Take my
There.
arm with your left.
Over.
And then
No.
you can place it here.
Pull out the left.
Lock it.
Go over the hand. That's right, like that.
Keep that.
That's how you
Arch it. You're good. Keep going. Pull it. Arch it.
Go.
It's not only, sure, not only squeezing, it's also arching your hips, and if you're arching, it will give you additional.
I would try to cross your feet, John. It might be easier because if he's shorter, it's always going to be more difficult. See what I mean? But that's why you lost the arm right away. So cross your feet. Cross it.
See?
It's okay that it's tight. If it's tight, you can hold his arm out.
But that's the thing, you're harshing.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, do that
She's
again.
fine, she's fine. She's never running.
to do that. Some people aren't.
Okay, guys, it's time. I don't think that it's important. John, let me borrow a second. So when I get through, let's say we're strong side from that. Sorry, I'm trying to see later. If I understand where his escape is, right? As I'm coming through to this side, okay? Sometimes it'll happen, especially people that know what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of this hook. I don't care about this hook. Yes, I really don't. So when I'm here, I'm actually closing and crossing. Because from here, I have the same result. If my goal is to block his butt from being able to turn, right, like that, I don't need this hook. Because this hook only helps me to prevent John from turning on his chest. But I don't care. If he does that, I mean, he's going to fall into my choke. So sometimes I'll give the person, if I see that they keep messing around with this foot or I can't get the hook in, I don't give a shit about the hook. I'm crossing my feet. And if you see, I'm tall, so it's easier, but in general, I'm trying to pull the inner thigh right on his hip bone. So I'm still closing the nail. So he turns away from me, I'll get away, okay? I'm still gonna be able to hold him, okay? He turns his back on the floor, it's gonna be very difficult, because now I double that control on that bottom hook that prevents him from doing the same. So right now, I want you to go from here, okay, to here. Now if you see, look at this foot, the top foot, it's better always if you can put it on top. If I put it over here, it's not a good lock. You know what I mean? It kind of tends to want to open. So in order to lock it, I have to really make sure that the foot that is already trapped, that is my bottom, okay? And by the way, now if I'm here, it's easy for him to push my leg down and sit on top of my leg, right? Do it again a second. If I'm here, it becomes difficult for him to get rid of that hook, okay? Because it's locked in by the top leg. Okay, so again, very good solution. And then from here, again, and go, and then choke. Okay, so try it out a second, but I want you to feel it because there is this thing, especially with jiu-jitsu, that is about having both hooks in. The main reason is what? Points. If you don't pull both hooks in, there's no points from the back.
Can you show the leg work once again?
No. Okay, so let's say exactly, look, relax it. By the way, I want it to be tight. I know that sometimes it's difficult to move a certain way, but if it's tight, it's not just tight for Caroline, it's tight also for Jake. You understand what I mean? So once I'm here and he's tight, it becomes difficult for him. Try to put your back on the floor, Jake. Okay? You see what I mean? Because you need to lock this though. The challenge is that you have to really commit to a little bit of discomfort. You see what I mean? And I know it's difficult, but you have to understand that sometimes if I'm Peter, even though I'm in control, sometimes it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? So you need to be able to feel like, I don't do something because I feel pressure. Sorry, I'm not giving up on something because I feel pressure, because it's tight, because it hurts a little bit. Okay? I still fucking do it. And that's realistically sometimes the difference. You don't realize that sometimes with the escapes, with our submissions, they hurt both of us. Not all the time, but they're not comfortable. You know what I mean? If he's there and he's fighting me, I'm there and I'm grinding. It's not a comfortable position. When I put those hooks in, I'm gonna have to squeeze my legs and he's actively trying to escape. You are gonna feel pressure, okay? Sometimes you'll feel, if you lock your feet, sometimes you'll feel maybe your toe cramping up a little bit. That's the end of that. I mean, that's why you gotta be a tough person to do this shit. You can't be like, you know? So, right now, try nice and easy. Obviously, go back to the giants and stuff, but if you have more or less somebody you see it with him, you can do it. Adjust yourself, you can put that foot so you're hooking, and then do the same choke. Let's go, ready? Remember, giggling while you're taking somebody's back can be awkward. I'm just telling you, okay, how much giggling, try to limit the giggling. So say that, say, you get off your feet. Relax, Put this hand on your shoulder, and this one goes on top, and go to the other shoulder, all the way, and now squeeze.
I'm asking you questions.
No, I'm worried. I don't know how to try
This
this.
already. That's 6 months.
Huh?
So, okay.
Yeah,
Now, Good, perfect. 6 squeeze. Now go for the choke. So this hand on your shoulder. No burning through steps. There. Hand on the shoulder. Pull this out. Hand on the shoulder. This hand on the shoulder. This hand on the shoulder. There. Okay. Never try to step. Never try to step from step 2 to step 4. Because it never works. Especially when you're smaller. It's, if anything, it's about making even more steps. It's 3.5, it's 4, it's 4.25. It's little steps. So arch your hips from here. Arch. Arch. See? That's a perfect example of
I couldn't relate to
I know, but because you went on the underhook side.
But what should I do? Yeah.
That's a different, that's how, you know, it's different. The moment you go 1 over, 1 under, so you can do that. Okay? The problem is if you're trying to squeeze the arm and one hand choke, it's mainly head. So you want to take away all the slack, stay tight, and then arch your hips. No? You keep doing that. Put the hand on the shoulder. Now that one goes on top. On top. Yeah. Not important. That way, it's not figure 4. If you're like this, that's holding his hand here. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Let's do one more and stuff, and there we go. Now, like Oleg was doing a second, okay? So when I'm here, okay? So it's a little bit different. Now, I like the underhook side. So I tell you already. So as I said, when you first learn grappling, everything, the strong side is the overhook side, or the top control side. Debatable. When you get more advanced and the person knows how to escape, the underhook side now becomes the most common. Why? Because I can use the underhook to control his shoulder so he cannot put his back on the ground. Okay? Meaning, I'm here, I can pull the back in and also, look, put his back on the ground, put your back. You see, my head is already creating a natural barrier. When I'm on the top control, his head is closest to the ground, so it's a little bit easier to put your chin to the sky and coming through. But if I'm instead I have the underhook control here, now he has to clear my head before he can put his back on the ground. You see what I mean? So just become, again, it depends really on the barrier of entry. Now, when I'm here, like I was telling Oleg, if your head is in, okay, now if he's like this with his arms by his side and whatever, use your left arm a little bit. Exactly, okay? And otherwise like that is no fun. Because if he's here, I'm gonna grab it. Now, guys, when I grab, I'm always grabbing kind of the hand in a way that is, so look. Try to explode out of my hand. Explode, don't help me. Exactly, it becomes difficult. Now relax, now go. Yes, I mean, it's important. I'm always putting leverage here, okay? So it's important. I'm in. Now, if I have to, I can also do a 4-figure 4, but if I'm here, I already took away all the slack. Now, my hips are in, and now I start punching my hips in, okay? So one arm chokes, I think, are important to learn, because sometimes maybe the person, maybe Jesse, is able to control my arm, so I cannot pull it out. Either way, you can switch, you can do a bunch of stuff, but I want you to feel it all the time. The more steps you have, the more opportunity he has to get out, because they're really all the time big movements. I have to pull my arm out and switch it over. If I can stay tight and patient, you'll be surprised how much many people put themselves in a submission position. Meaning as they try to escape, their neck opens up. Your goal is always to be so pressed in with pressure that as soon as there's an opening right away, your arm kind of takes over. Make sense? I want you to be efficient, because again, these movements are very high success rate, but I feel like they make us very greedy. We need, I take the back, I'm there, I feel like I can have it, and then before you know it, I had Peter there, he escapes, and I'm on the bottom, and he just pounding my face in, okay? So I want you to really focus on the control of the back. If you can control the back, and also, by the way, not just control the back, but making sure that you control the back is not given by your arms. Okay, because if you think about it, when usually you control the back, what happens? Okay, I have the seatbelt, my hooks are in, but my hooks are kind of flimsy, that's why I want you to learn how to use them. Okay, so now as soon as I start going for the choke, now I'm taking away the control of the person, that's when the person can escape. So you attacking allows the person to defend. Does it make sense? So if I'm here, look. So take my back a second. If I'm here, right? So we're in this position. We go down. When I'm here, okay, he's good in control. But the moment he starts going for the choke, then he starts opening the hands. And that takes away the lock. So, and then I start turning and doing that. I want you to feel like the more active you are here, the more you feel like you can move your hands and it's not gonna allow me to still escape. You understand what I mean? So I want you to feel that you're controlling exactly like that. You see how my lower back is kind of punched forward and my hip, my belly is kind of forward? That tells me that his hooks are active. He's not really pushing, he's not smoking his legs, but he just took away a lot of the slack and now it's difficult for me to recover. It's like if I'm here, now here I feel like I have a lot of movement, I'm comfortable and strong. If I am here, now it becomes a lot more difficult. Does it make sense? So from here, he puts his arm in, nice and tight. You can grab also this, it's like coming through. Okay, grab exactly there, even deeper, exactly now. Okay, that's all it is, okay? Guys, remember that I'm oversimplifying because there are different variations and so on. But I do want you to feel like, always make sure that when we start grappling, we understand more than the technique, we understand that it's all about connection. Every time you're disconnecting yourself from the person to go to the next step, it's an opportunity for the other person. You understand what I mean? So I need to make sure, take my back a second. If I'm here, right, and we're going through, just do this side, and he's going for the choke, go. You see, right now he's staying super tight. See, well, you're not taking,
Ow.
Me now, you know how, you're attacking me.
Ow.
Me now. Okay? No, but it's silly, but he forgot about the legs. I thought they were flimsy, so I can do different stuff. And I escape like this all the time, even from very high level grapplers and stuff. Okay, because I'm trying to always find the path of least resistance. Is most of their attention on the arms, then I try to go for the legs. Is most attention on the legs, then I'll use the arms. Okay, so again, just be conscious of that. So right now, put those hooks so you feel that when you're here, you're kind of punching back a little bit. So if I'm defending, you see that instead of being here, my belly and my hips are coming forward, my legs are back, just like John was doing. Go with the one arm in, make it nice and stop. Don't worry about choking the person yet. Make it as snug as possible. Once it's snug, that's when you start applying more choke. Okay, let's try it. Let's go. Ready? What do you mean, ow? That hurt. I don't need that like crazy.
But that's good, so I can do it again. You don't know.
So I want you to feel like, especially for people, for now switch over. Switch it. It's just I want you to feel like you don't get messed up with left and right. It really doesn't matter, but whatever. As I'm coming through here, right? Okay, I want to make sure he goes for the choke, go for the choke. I'm already priming my hands, so I start working. You see, my left hand found its way to the meaty part of his hand. You understand what I mean here? Okay, sometimes I'll use both hands and I stay tight. This hand here, I'm not so worried because he's under my armpit. As he starts to go for the choke, okay, go. I want to feel like this hand is mine. And so I have to be patient. Once I feel like I have the opportunity, I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna use it to get my hips on the floor. Now, if you wanna be a dick, usually that's what I do, because Richard is my middle name, okay? So as I'm coming through, I am actually turning myself, I'm being nice to him, but I'm going all the way up. What that does, it allows you to prevent that person from going to mount. Because that's really the most common thing as the person gets on top. Now, with my instructor, because I do it on him a lot at this point, you know, like that's always my thing. We call it the Steven Segal escape, because you're going for the wrist locks, okay? But I want you to feel like I'm kind of taking one string and pulling it, and it unravels everything. You'll be surprised. I've seen black belts do flips to try to get out of these wrist locks. Because right now I've been nice, but man, I have a freaking lifeline there, and I'm not fucking letting that thing go. Now I have one hand, second hand. Obviously, if it is somebody much bigger than you, Caroline, it will be an issue. But you'll be surprised how strong you are, because a lot of times you're just grabbing the meat part like you're controlling it. You feel it a little bit. And I'm just being, the key thing is being patient, because you can tell slowly how, sorry, I popped my something here. So, you have to be patient, so I'm here. The moment he starts going for something, that's when I get that hand in. Okay, my goal is to get, sometimes, listen, if you grab it like this, then it's gonna be easier. But I'm not even being super active. The moment, because if I'm here, stay strong, it's gonna be impossible to do it. So I stay tight. I stay here. The moment he starts going for the choke, that's when it gives me the opportunity. It's easy to redirect his movement than provide movement. What I mean is if he's here and he's stuck, I'm not going anywhere. So I'm just patient. The moment his hand starts moving, that's when it gives me the hand. Once I'm here, again, look, he starts moving and I start going. Even if he tries to choke me the other side, I'm going, look what I'm doing. I'm putting my hips on the floor, same way we already do. And I keep turning. And I don't fucking let go. I move, sorry, is it okay? Okay, I'm moving and keeping this in. I can be as stronzo as I want to be. You know what stronzo is? Oh man, you guys are learning Italian.
You can't teach them the bad words.
Oh,
No, that's
that's exactly what you need.
That's exactly
when
what
you go to Rome and somebody
you
says
can't
stronzo,
use
you're
them.
like, no, they're nice here in
can't
Rome.
use them.
It's like, to be literal is piece of shit. Okay? But stronzo is a very used word, like, right? Okay, she uses it with me all the time. Okay? So it's kind of like when you're, it's more like it's a casual. You can say it in a bad way, but it's also like you can say it like here. You, whatever.
It's like asshole.
Yeah, but like it's more like a joke. You can say it also joking. All the stuff in Italian, it depends on how you say it. What I'm trying to say is that I need you to believe in this thing and be locked in. I want you to grab that meaty part of the hand and I want you to stay there. Careful, okay? Because right now my key concern is not just escape, but also making sure that he cannot follow me. If he tries to go into mount, it's gonna hurt his wrist. You understand what I mean? So I like it because, like I said, you take one piece of the body and it kind of makes the rest of the body kind of turn around you. That makes sense? So start slowly going toward the top side, okay? Keep your hands there. Nice and easy for now, cooperative here in the back. He grabs the medial part of the hand with the left hand, grabs the medial part of the hand and stays there. If you want to also help yourself with the other one. Now, super easy. If you feel like it hurts, you tap, okay? But otherwise, I want you to feel like you're putting your back on the ground and getting all the way to guard in this case. In reality, sometimes a person will try to do rolls out of it, but not right now because I don't want you to hurt yourself. What's happening? If I feel like he's blowing, I'm either with the thumb or with the other hand blocking. But ideally I would like here. I can do it also like this. If I want to just grab whatever. But if he feels that I'm always kind of turning in the direction that I want to turn. So if my body is turning that way, I want to make sure that the wrist turns that way. Now I'm going around the head, try to find it a little bit. Okay? So again, you have to be careful, but one thing that I like about this escape is that I find it very, besides that it works also in grappling, okay? But it's very us in a way. I like when I can cause pain on the person that is attacking me, it only helps. You understand what I mean? Because whenever we have a defense where it doesn't cause any discomfort on him, there's a chance that he's gonna be able to transition into another offensive position. You understand what I mean? But now I'm forcing him, even if he's not gonna tap, I'm talking more in training, it still forces him to work his escape or whatever he's doing around what I'm doing. You understand what I mean? So that already it's an advantage. I like anytime I escape to put myself in a place where I'm hurting the other person. Okay? So especially for us in self-defense, there's no trying to hit, it's not any transition to hit. You're just thinking, man, this fucking thing sucks and stuff as much as possible. And you have to go with it. Like I said, I have guys that are very experienced in grappling. They will literally start doing somersault forward. Okay? And listen, I don't give it. I mean, obviously, if somebody's trying to choke me, I'll feel bad for them afterward. But fuck, they're trying to, literally sometimes I have the arm across my face and trying to break my face. I'm not gonna feel, obviously I wanna put control, but I also wanna make sure that the goal is to escape. And if I can escape and also put myself in a dominant position, and in reality, I'll freaking crank that thing until that pinky goes all the way around 10 times, okay? The challenge is, honestly, biting down on this area and not letting it slip, so before you know it, you're kind of just holding hands. You still need to feel like you're biting on that area and continuously bringing it over. You know what I mean? Again, as I'm coming through here, I'm turning this way and I'm turning my body consistent. And I'm always trying to be sure that as I'm turning, I'm going with that same direction. Does this make sense? It's not